G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well, and are you feeling romantic this week, given that we're leading up to Valentine's Day? If you're looking for ideas, I've got some for you this week. Now, also, this has worked in well with, I feel like calling these guys the challenge crew, because for the third month in a row now, they've come up with a challenge for the YouTubers who make cocktails and people who do it on Instagram as well. And given it's Valentine's month, the name for this month's challenge is Love Potion 2021. This has been put forward by Rob from Rob's Home Bar, Vino from 60 Second Cocktails, and Dave from Booze on the Rocks. And it's a challenge, it's not a competition as such, there's no winners, apart from you, the viewers, who are going to get some romantic cocktails this month. And they set a few rules. One is to be in the mood for the Love Potion, it should be pink or red, which is pretty easy. It needs a chocolate garnish, and we're going to use the hashtag Love Potion 2021 and get it in this month. Now, I had always intended to make this week 3 Valentine's Day cocktails, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to try and get all of them to match this, but I'm not sure. There was some of the ingredients I go, okay, that should go red or pink, but I've never made it before, and I'm slightly dubious, so I'm not sure. But we shall see, the one I'm about to make in particular. But I'm going to have a go, and if I meet the criteria, I'll put the hashtag on. If I don't, well, it's just a Valentine's cocktail. And I'm also trying to tell a story with these. You'll see as the week unfolds, they're about different stages of love. And the one I'm going to start with is called Dunderstruck. It's a pun on Thunderstruck, of course. I thought that's like the initial surge of, you know, love, infatuation, obsession. You're dunderstruck by love. And why is it called that? Because they said use an overproof pot still rum. I happen to have one, an Australian one called Inner Circle, cask strength, 75.9% alcohol, so over 151 proof. Oof. And this is why I'm not sure it's going to be red or pink. It's not that dark, but it's a bit dark. We'll see. It's got other ingredients. So yeah, dunder is apparently a somewhat archaic term to refer to the flavour that pot still rums have. A lot of people say it's funky, has a funky flavour. A term that's not used very often anymore is dundery. So yeah, a cocktail maker with a love of puns came up with this one and called it Dunderstruck. So let's get going with my first Valentine's video for this year. First up, we are going to do 1 ounce or 30 mils of our overproof pot still rum. Honestly, you use a rum you like. The recommendation for this cocktail is an overproof pot still rum, but if you've got a rum you really like, you're probably going to like it in the cocktail. I happen to have this one from Inner Circle, distilled in Queensland, Australia. So we'll start with 1 ounce, 30 mils of rum. Here's our red element. We're going to use a red aperitivo. I'm using Aperol. You could use Campari. I think Campari's gross. It's far too bitter. And there are a bunch of other bitter red aperitivos on the market as well. This is one of the better known ones. Going to do 3/4 of an ounce. That's about 22.5 mils of our aperitivo. The recipe also calls for 1/2 ounce, 15 mils of strawberry syrup. There are a lot of syrups made specifically for cocktails. I've got some Hershey syrup, was for desserts, although well, it suits, so it's going in. We're going to do 15 mils, 1/2 ounce of strawberry syrup. The last major element for this cocktail is some pineapple juice. Freshly opened pineapple juice. Look, if you can do fresh pressed pineapple juice, you have kitchen equipment that I don't have. Far too difficult a thing, so it's it's an unsweetened 100% pineapple juice, so I'm comfortable using it. And we're going 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of pineapple juice. The final touch for this cocktail called for 2 dashes of green absinthe. Now, if you've watched other videos on this channel, you may well know I have a blue absinthe that is very strong, and I'm wary of using that, both because I think the blue will change the colour too much, and the flavour of that one's a bit strong. So for a little bit of that herbal notes, I'm going to do, instead of absinthe, I'm going to do 2 dashes, there's a very vague measurement, I'm going to splash it in, of green chartreuse. Very different drink to absinthe, but it's herbal, it's strong, Just do a little splash, and that's probably enough of that. And now is time for some ice. Ice in my shaker, and we can see, despite my fears, I have got the appropriate colour for the challenge. So put that in there, bang it in hard, shake it for about 10 seconds. Now I'm going to strain this into a chilled rocks glass with a big chunk of ice. That is an impressively pink drink, but we need a chocolate garnish. For this garnish, I have decided to skewer some white chocolate coated little jellies, and I think it's going to fall apart. I tried to, oh well, I lost a bit of chocolate. See, they're red on the inside. I tried to cut these in half because I thought that would look good, and I need a sharper knife, I think, because the jellies just basically made everything fall apart. But if I just skewer them whole, there we have it. Yeah, I've met the criteria. It's pink. It's got a chocolate garnish. I'm not sure how romantic overproof rum is, but I've never tried this before. Maybe it's a great way to fall in love with almost anyone. Drink some overproof rum. Let's give it a taste. Whoa, that's the dundery I can taste. That is really interesting. I'm trying to place the different flavors that are in there. The aperitivo, like I said, because I don't like Campari because it's too bitter. Aperol is just mildly bitter. Is providing a nice contrast to the rum and the pineapple juice. I think the pineapple juice is keeping everything under control. I was honestly worried using a full ounce of an overproof rum was basically just going to be dominating everything else, but there's a pretty good balance in there, and I'm off to a flying start. I'm pretty happy with that because, yeah, just with the rum, it's not exceptionally dark, but it's a little bit dark, and I wasn't sure if we would get the actual pink-red colour I wanted for the Love Potion 2021 challenge, but we've got there, so that's 1 out of 3 meeting the goals. Tune in for the next couple of videos to see if I have similar or possibly greater levels of success. I'm not saying this is the ceiling. This is not bad. This is probably, there are a lot of rum drinks I like, and this is a good contrast because usually rum drinks are overly sweet, and the idea of using a bitter aperitivo like a Jungle Bird does that as well, makes it a little bit different to the tiki and tropical drinks that are all rum and all juices and all syrups. They can be a bit overly sweet, quite frankly, even though there's a few of them I quite like. This one has been different in its favour. I'm probably not going to rush to make another one in all honesty, but if you are particularly into the bitter drinks, you might really like this with Campari or whatever aperitivo you have on hand. But we shouldn't get ourselves limited by love, I don't think. And I've started off being Dunderstruck, using an overproof rum, which I don't immediately associate with Valentine's drinks, so quite happy with how this one turned out. Hey, I hope you can come back and join me for the rest of the Valentine's cocktails. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it'd be great if you did. Click the little bell so you know when I upload, and you can see how I go with the remaining challenges I've set myself for Valentine's cocktails. And in the meantime, I hope you look after yourself and look after people around you, and come back real soon, you hear? Looking forward to see you again. Until then, cheers.